In 1947, Los Angeles woke up to a nightmare. A young woman was found brutally murdered, her body left in the open, as if someone wanted the world to see. The city froze in fear. The police questioned hundreds of suspects, doctors, soldiers, strangers. Some even confessed, but none told the truth. Evidence vanished. Witnesses disappeared. And the killer? Never caught. This is the Black Dahlia, America's most haunting unsolved murder. Los Angeles in 1947 was a city of hope and illusion. Hollywood was booming, dreams felt reachable, and the future looked bright. But beneath the glamour, something dark was waiting. On a cold January morning, that darkness surfaced in a way America had never seen before. What police discovered in a quiet, vacant lot was not just a murder. It was a crime so calculated, so disturbing, that it permanently changed how the public viewed violence, media, and justice. Newspapers would call it the Black Dahlia murder, and the name would echo for generations. This was not a crime of passion. It was methodical, deliberate, and deeply unsettling. More than 70 years later, the case remains unsolved. No arrest, no conviction, only questions. Who killed Elizabeth Short? And how did someone commit such a crime and vanish completely? Before she became a headline, Elizabeth Short was simply a young woman trying to survive. She born in 1924 in Massachusetts, Elizabeth grew up during the Great Depression after her father disappeared, leaving the family financially and emotionally broken. From an early age, she battled illness, instability, and uncertainty, but she also carried ambition. Elizabeth dreamed of a better life. Like many young women of her time, she was drawn to California by the promise of opportunity. Not fame, just possibility. Contrary to later rumors, police records show no evidence that she was a criminal, an actress, or part of Hollywood's underground. She was transient. Yes, but not dangerous. Friends described her as polite, quiet, and hopeful. Her tragedy is often overshadowed by myth. But before she was the Black Dahlia, she was a 22-year-old woman still trying to figure out who she could become. By late 1946, Elizabeth Short was living in Southern California, moving between temporary places, hotels, friends' homes, and boarding houses. She owned little and depended on kindness from others. Her last confirmed sighting occurred on January 9, 1947, at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Witnesses recalled her sitting alone in the lobby, calm and composed. After that moment, she vanished. No confirmed phone calls, no letters, no verified sightings. For 6 days, no one knew where Elizabeth was or what was happening to her. Police would later determine that during this period, she was likely being held somewhere private. What happened during those missing days remains one of the most chilling unknowns of the case. When Elizabeth disappeared into Los Angeles, the city swallowed her whole and never gave her back alive. On the morning of January 15, 1947, a woman walking with her child noticed something unusual in a vacant lot in Leimert Park. From a distance, it looked like a discarded mannequin. It wasn't. Police arrived and immediately realized they were facing something unprecedented. Elizabeth Short's body had been deliberately placed, carefully arranged, and left in plain sight. There were no signs of a struggle at the scene, no blood in the soil. This told investigators one thing immediately: the murder happened somewhere else. The condition of the body suggested precision, control, and time. This was not a rushed act. It was intentional. Veteran detectives were shaken. Los Angeles had seen crime before, but nothing like this. From that moment on, the case would stop being just an investigation. It became a nightmare that the city could not wake up from. The autopsy revealed details that stunned investigators. Elizabeth's body had been completely drained of blood. The injuries showed extreme precision, leading the coroner to suggest the killer may have had medical or surgical knowledge. There were no defensive wounds, no evidence of a chaotic struggle. This suggested control, possibly trust, or complete domination. The cause of death was determined to be severe hemorrhage and shock. The time of death was estimated to be days before the body was discovered. Forensics in 1947 were limited. DNA testing did not exist. Fingerprints were often contaminated. Evidence handling standards were inconsistent. What little physical evidence existed was fragile, and some of it would later be lost forever. The killer didn't just murder Elizabeth Short. He exploited every weakness in the justice system of the time. Within hours, newspapers took control of the story. Reporters invented the nickname the Black Dahlia, inspired by a popular film noir and Elizabeth's dark clothing. The name stuck, and it transformed a human tragedy into a media spectacle. Facts were mixed with rumors. Lies were printed as truth. Some journalists even contacted Elizabeth's mother under false pretenses before revealing her daughter's death. This media frenzy poisoned the investigation. False tips flooded police. Witnesses changed stories. Public pressure pushed detectives toward bad leads. Elizabeth Short was no longer a person. She became a symbol, a headline, a mystery. And in the noise of fame and scandal, the truth became harder and harder to find. The Los Angeles Police Department questioned hundreds of suspects: doctors, soldiers, criminals, friends, strangers. Several people confessed, but none of the confessions matched the evidence. One suspect, Dr. George Hodel, gained attention decades later, but no proof ever met the legal standard for arrest. Evidence was lost. Witnesses died. Technology lagged behind the crime. As years passed, the trail went cold. Despite modern reviews, the case remains officially unsolved. Elizabeth Short never received justice, and the Black Dahlia killer was never named. The Black Dahlia murder is not famous because it was violent. It is famous because it was unanswered. A young woman disappeared. A city panicked. A killer walked away. And more than 75 years later, we are still asking the same question. Who killed Elizabeth Short? And how did they escape forever?